Well, hello there, and welcome to your monthly numerology here at Readings at the Round Table. I'm Jennifer, and I am a little hesitant about March, but it's coming whether I want it to or not, right? But let me tell you, March 2025 is coming in with a roar. I mean, a roar. Okay, so the first day of March, March 1st, we are kicking it off in like real time with Venus going retrograde in Aries. Venus is going to be retrograde until April 12th, and it is going to retrograde, excuse me, it is going to retrograde back into Pisces later on in March. On March 3rd, we have Mercury moving into Aries. Now, this is a good thing because Mercury is not overly fond of being in Pisces. It rules, Virgo and Gemini. So being in Sagittarius and being in Pisces is not comfortable because it's opposing the signs that it rules. So Pisces is not the most comfortable place for Mercury. So it is good that Mercury's moving into Aries. But there's more on Mercury this month. Of course, on March 4th and March 5th, we have Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, and then Ash Wednesday. So I just wanted to throw that in just for fun. And another just for fun, on the 9th of March, we have Daylight Savings Time. So I know not everyone does that. Like in the U.S., I'm finding that out. But it's happening in some places in the U.S., Daylight Savings Time. So don't forget to set your clocks ahead. On the 14th, okay, here's a big one. On the 14th of March, we have a full moon in Virgo that is hitting its peak at 2:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is also the lunar eclipse. So we have Virgo and Pisces moving into the ecliptic, and Aries and Libra moving out. All right, because North Node went into Pisces in January, so that puts South Node in Virgo. This is our first one in Virgo and Pisces. So the full moon in Virgo with the lunar eclipse on the 14th is like putting us in that different ecliptic, that different feel. On the 15th, just after that powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Aries, and Mercury will be retrograde until April 7th. On a side note, this is the Ides of March. So it's kind of interesting because there's a lot of superstition around March 15th, around March 15th, because that's supposed to be the day that Julius Caesar was assassinated. And there's a lot of other superstitions around the Ides of March, but I just thought I would let you know, Mercury is going retrograde in Aries on that day. I know. It's insane. On the 17th, of course, we have St. Patrick's Day. And on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Pisces. The sun moving into Aries. What is wrong with me? There is a total party going on in Pisces. So if you have a lot of stuff happening in Pisces in your chart, you need to be aware of this. If you have sun, moon, or rising, or just a lot of planets in Pisces in your chart, you need to be aware of this because there is a total party in Pisces, like right now. And all the way through March, to be honest with you. Okay, so back to this. On the 20th, the sun moves into Aries, not Pisces, and it's also the spring equinox. Wow, love that. Love it. It is also International Astrology Day. Go hug your astrologer. Go buy your astrologer a cup of coffee. I'm just kidding. I just think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so on the 27th, I told you there was more going on with Venus. On the 27th, Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, and on the 29th, Mercury retrogrades back into Pisces. So again, as I said, there's a party going on in Pisces. And also on the 29th, we have a new moon in Aries that hits its peak at 6:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's also the solar eclipse. So we're moving off of the ecliptic of Aries and Libra, and we're moving into the Pisces Virgo ecliptic. So you can see that with the lunar eclipse that we have in Virgo, in the full moon in Virgo, and you'll see it in the fall when we go through the eclipses then as well. On the 30th, here's a kicker. Neptune, who rules Pisces, is moving into Aries. Now, Neptune moves very slowly, if I'm not mistaken, 14 years. Yes. Yeah, Neptune moves every 14 years. Just wanted to double check my notes. So Neptune has been in Pisces, which it rules, for the last 14 years. It's moving into Aries for a short period of time, and then he's going to retrograde back into Pisces for a little bit before moving into Aries again for the next 14 years. So that's a big deal. And we're going to talk more about that. I have like a whole video planned on that. So just letting you know. Okay, so we're ending March with 5 planets with North Node in water, 2 in air, 2 in earth with South Node, and 2 in fire. Yeah, party in Pisces. That's all I'm saying. So we have the Sun and Neptune in Aries, Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter is in Gemini, Mars is in Cancer, and thank goodness, like, Mars is going direct on the 23rd of February. Oh my gosh. So happy about that. Then we have South Node in Virgo, Aquarius is hosting Pluto, and Pisces has North Node, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury. Yeah, it's a good time. All right, so I want to tell you what the crystal of the month is. I'm so excited about this. It's so pretty, and I have to move all my notes and stuff. So before I do that, I do want to tell you I will be pulling from the usual cards this month. The Goddess Guidance, the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck and Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin, Boland. I just love these cards, even with my coffee spilled on it right there. Yeah, I love these cards. So I will be pulling from those cards for the advice cards for March. And I think I can get this. Let's see. Okay, yeah. How about that? Okay, here we go. So, the crystal of the month is petrified wood. And I don't have that many pieces of petrified wood because it seems to sell really quickly. I don't know what it is, but in my booth, this stuff sells like hotcakes. It's amazing. So I picked up these pieces all at this wonderful Natural Treasures Incorporated. They're out of Pittsburgh. I picked them up from, I picked these up from them. These are so beautiful. They are so these are wonderful because they've definitely been polished. And I love that you can see like the different colors and the different textures in these. Here's 2 small pieces. And you can really see like there's a lot of different colors. Most of them are like sort of this reddish brown color, but there are light browns, there's blacks, there's like, this one has both light brown and red in it. There's even like little streaks of white here and there. They're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I jumped the gun and put my notes down because I wanted to read this. The petrified wood is an energetic cleanse. It promotes balance and calmness. It grounds energy. It dissolves emotional fears, and it encourages inner peace. I think this is so important, like really during this time when we have Mercury and Venus, like both retrograde in Aries, both going back into Pisces. There's a lot of things like happening right now that I feel like we need some balance, and I feel like this is it's also a year of release. It's a year of the 9. I may have mentioned this once or twice, but I think this is a pretty important thing to have this emotional cleanse. Also, it's coming right after that really powerful new moon in Pisces that I was talking about. And I don't know how much I mentioned of it in February. I mean, I may talk about it on my live show. I'm not sure. But here, let me switch this. But the thing is, this Pisces new moon is really, really important. It is like an emotional new beginning. It is a spiritual, like, fresh start, new beginning. And it is a powerful time for you to manifest. But you do have to clean out the clutter before you start bringing in new stuff. And I love this because this, if we haven't hit it by the time that you're watching this, the Pisces new moon is on the 27th. So it's it's really, really important. I mean, it's a great, powerful moon, and Pisces and Virgo are on the ecliptic now. So again, it puts Pisces more front and center, more as like the main character, you know, and Virgo, you know, as the main character. But I mean, come on, I'm a Virgo. Who isn't the main character if you're a Virgo, right? I mean, yeah. So anyway, all this lovely petrified wood, I think that this is so beautiful. I think it's a great emotional cleanser. And it also, the book that I pulled, the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards, you know, I usually read from those. It also connects us with our ancestors. It connects us with our roots. And I think that's so great because, again, it helps ground us. This is a strong strong grounding stone and centering crystal. It assists in connecting you with the tree spirits to receive deep wisdom and healing from your ancestors. It awakens the deep knowledge that lies within the blood and bones of your ancestry. It assists in realizing any old ancestral karma brought down through the bloodline. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let me know what you guys think about it. Again, this card is such a perfect illustration of how different each piece of petrified wood, I feel like, is just very, very unique. Yes. And speaking of unique, let's see what your individual numerology is for this fantastic and very motivating month of March. Hello, Life Path 6. Well, let me tell you, March can be marvelous, magnificent, majestic, magnetic. No, that's not a good one. I've been trying to think of M adjectives to go with March like all day because I'm, you know, I batch record. And so I've just been sort of thinking through that, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on that just a little bit more. March really can be great. It can be magnificent. But March for you is going to be a little bit tricky, not because of the vibration of the month that it is for you. And by the way, March is a 9 month for you. I think that's actually going to make it a little bit easier for you. But because of the retrogrades that we're in, Venus and Mercury retrograde in March is going to be a little bit tricky for some of the life path numbers, and you're one of those life path numbers. Mostly because of not the vibration of the month that you're in, but because of your life path. Your life path number is all about speaking your truth. And speaking your truth can be a little bit daunting when the planet of communication, Mercury, is retrograde. This happens all the time. So, I mean, come on, Mercury goes retrograde like every other week, right? Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. But Mercury goes retrograde very often. So that's like not as big of a problem, but you do have to watch what you say or how you say it during this time. But you can be your own very generous and compassionate self, because that's what the life path of a 6 is all about. You can be your own very generous and compassionate self when you are speaking your truth to people. So that's going to sort of like work through the stuff with Mercury retrograde. The biggest thing here is Venus retrograde. When Venus is retrograde, it affects our relationships and our money. I mean, so because really it's, I mean, that's what Venus rules. And for you specifically, it's about the relationships, because you are all about relationships. You're all about partnerships and harmony, marriage, community, family. You love like to have your home be your sanctuary. And I think that this is, this can be a little bit of a hiccup if you're in a relationship, or, you know, if you have a lot of people around you there. And I mean a lot of people in your home, because really for a 6 life path, your home is like just where you go to recharge, where you go to like retreat, let's say, to isolate, to just pull back and just like reevaluate. And this is a good time to reevaluate. This is a good time to reevaluate some of the relationships that you have. This is not a great time to start a new relationship. This is a great time to reevaluate some of the relationships that you already have. So with that Venus retrograde. So this could be a little bit tricky for you. However, being in a 9-month and a 9-year, you're doubling down on that vibration of the 9. And you know, the vibration of the 9 is transition, it's completion, and it's releasing. The great thing is that it's also about rebirth and clearing out the clutter, both physical and spiritual. And who loves clutter clearing more than Mercury? Yeah. So it is a good time to clear out like your spiritual and your physical clutter with Mercury retrograde, but it's also a good time to reevaluate some choices, and like especially with your life path, maybe with just your relationships. Reevaluate and look at those choices that you have. This is a fantastic time to just say, okay, I don't like the way that this is looking. I want to change it. It's not starting a new relationship, right? It's working through some of the kinks in your current relationships. The mantra of the 9 is, I embody the flow of this moment with courage to change. Wow. That is such a great thing for you this month. It really is. This could be a good time to alter the course or work with some of the changes that you want to make to your current relationships, not starting new ones. I just can't stress that enough. Because I've seen a lot of people that try to start new relationships during Venus retrograde. I've done it myself. It's not advisable. It's not a pretty look. It's not. So the shadow sides of the 9 is fear of change and fighting change. Being careless with money, which could be because we're impulsive and moody if we're fighting change and we have this fear of change. So make sure that you are keeping an eye on your savings account, on your bank account. Like, let's keep an eye on that. Let's not be crazy with our spending habits. Because this is a time where you could be like, oh, I'm just not feeling good about my partnerships, about my relationships, because Venus is retrograde. I'm not feeling good about like keeping that harmony and that balance in all these relationships. So I'm going to go spend some money. Pull back from that thought. Yeah, just a little bit. It's only until mid-April, and then things can get back to normal. And then you'll be in a 1 month in April. Yeah, that's good news. The lesson of the 9 is to recognize the patterns that are no longer serving us and letting them go. Letting them go. They're no longer good for our well-being. Let them go. And that is where we start fighting change and like having that fear of change. But with your shadow sides and learning to be alone without being lonely, that can lead to being overly sensitive or maybe a little skeptical. We don't need to take on extra responsibility for other people's choices. So let's just work through some of these relationship issues that we may have and let them go if they're not working out for us. Not the relationship, the issues. Yeah. The lesson of the 6, I'm just going to remind you of the lesson of your life path, is to be patient and accepting, and to speak the truth without judgment or a desire for a specific outcome. I'm sorry, I've got phone calls coming in and it's very distracting. But I think that this is a good time. It's a great time to double down in that 9 energy when we're in this retrograde period. So, see what advice cards we have for you for this month. I think that it's good that Venus only goes retrograde every couple of years because, boy, that's super fun, isn't it? And I love the energy of the 6. I mean, it's so giving and so nurturing. And yeah, it can be challenging to go through Venus retrograde. I know. But you just want the best. You just want the best for everybody that you care about, everybody that you love. And who doesn't love that energy around them? All right, 6. Let's see what advice cards we get. Ooh, okay. I say this wrong every time. Maui, Mother Earth. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. Okay, I really need to put my glasses on. I mean, that is so awesome. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. Okay, next. Oh, believe in the impossible, blue moon. Ooh, I like that, life path 6. Okay, putting on the glasses. Okay, believe in the impossible, blue moon. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. Is this in focus? Yeah. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests that you're about to get a rare chance and that something one-off could be about to happen. That's great. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking for too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. And remember, I'm lucky. It is St. Patrick's Day in March. I love that. hey, just bring in the luck of the Irish. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 6. I hope you have a majestic March. I hope you have an awesome month. I forgot what I was. Yeah, I hope you have an awesome month. So until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.